Dana Plato, the little girl from the TV show Diff'rent Strokes, recently pleaded guilty to robbing a video store, and now she awaits sentencing. Dana spoke with Terry Murphy exclusively about her road from fame to desperation.
I've got a grip on it now, but I had seriously lost touch with who I was. Because I was always Dana Plato, the actress, and I was always working, and I was always Dana Plato. And I didn't know who Dana Plato was anymore. I had a serious identity crisis. I didn't know that I was worth anything. I was very... I wanted my son. I want my mother. I want my life back, you know? I want to be who I am. And I just didn't know who that was anymore. I just didn't know. Was it Dana Plato?
Dana Plato, a sitcom sweetheart at 12, armed robbery suspect at 26. A downfall that's among the most tragic and most public in the recent wave of child star troubles. She was Kimberly, the millionaire's daughter on Diff'rent Strokes, the show about the white man who adopted two black brothers. Tiny star Gary Coleman has lived a life of sadness and sickness. Co-star Todd was acquitted last year of a drug shooting. And now Dana Plato allegedly turned a robbery in a desperate cry for help. I spoke to Dana after she had had some time to calm down, think clearly about where she's been and the jail sentence she might face. I really felt for her.
Tell us what led up to a Dana who would commit a crime.
Just serious depression. And I didn't realize what that could do to a person. It's stronger than any drug there is out there. And it's devastating. It can completely tear your life apart. It can make you do things that is against your nature.
Are you still fighting it?
I'm fighting it because I'm still trying to understand where that came from. I'm still trying to understand what inside of me could have been so awful and so terrible to make me do something like that.
Dana's downfall actually began while she was still on top, earning several thousands on Diff'rent Strokes. At the time, she played out her real-life predicament on an after-school special with co-star, poster boy, Rob Lowe.
I didn't even know that you were,
Pregnant? Well, I was.
Didn't you take any precautions?
You were there, did you?
No. I always thought the girls were supposed to.
Yeah, and I always thought the guys were. Not that it matters much now.
She got pregnant and had to give up her role as the virginal Kimberly.
At what point did you leave the show and why? What was the reason behind it?
The reason being was because of Tyler, like I said, after that last taping, after the conversation that we had saying that was okay, everything was fine with the baby, this is a good idea, they just let me go after one show, didn't say a word, and that was my last show.
That must have been devastating.
Very much so. Very much. You know, and there was just one scene I did with Mr. Drummond, my father on the show, in the show, where I was saying goodbye to him. And if I would have known that would have been my last show, that scene would have been so moving because it would have been very genuine. You know, and I thought back on that, and it would have been nice to know first. It would have been a very moving episode. If I would have known, it would have been my last show.
Dana married the child's father, but separated from him a year later, and eventually had to give up custody of her beloved child, Tyler.
I think we need to establish why it is that you don't see Tyler very often.
I, unfortunately, basically don't have the money. I don't have a car. I mean, I might be able to struggle by with him. You know, like I said, we're struggling, no fringe benefits. We pay our bills. You know, that's about it. I'm unstable right now. I don't know where I'm going to be living next month. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. And I don't think that's fair to take a child around and have them always have to reestablish themselves. I don't think I should, you know, just pick them up and carry them around with me everywhere I go out of selfishness.
In 1988, her closest friend in the world, her mother, died of cancer. Now she had nothing. No husband, no child, no mother. And in a last-ditch comeback try, she took off her clothes for Playboy magazine. There was alcohol. Dana wound up in Las Vegas, lost among the losers and bright lights in the city of broken dreams. She wound up working at a dry cleaner's until she lost that job, too. At the end of February, Dana was at the end of her rope. She couldn't even get a job cleaning toilets and picking up the garbage. And that's when Dana allegedly walked into a local video store, pulled out a BB gun, and held the place up. The clerk called 911 and said she'd just been robbed by the girl from Diff'rent Strokes.
Are you allowed to say what it was like to be arrested?
It's a strange thing because when somebody takes your freedom away, it's almost like you've been raped, in a sense.
Were you scared?
You know, no, I wasn't scared. I almost felt relief, like maybe somebody would hear me, or maybe now finally, in some kind of bizarre way, I mean, you shouldn't have to do anything that drastic to get help. But I felt relief because I felt like I was going to get help for something I was suffering through that I didn't even understand. But I almost felt relieved.
Are you not the same person today who got arrested in a video
No,
store?
I am. Well, I've always been the same person, but the depression gets a hold of you and you lose touch with everything. You lose yourself. I mean, you really, really do. And it's very difficult to go in there and find yourself because it's easy to be depressed. It's easy to sit there and feel like you're nothing, and all these evil things that come out, they're easily there. You have to work at being a good person. You have to work at being positive and being, you know, strong.
Dana Plato spent 5 days in jail before she was bailed out by superstar entertainer Wayne Newton. Wayne was the first one to give Dana a break. He said he knew what it was like to be a kid star.
He helped. He posted bail for me to get out of jail. And he put up some collateral and did some things, and he has been very much on my side. And as far as I can see, he is just a very beautiful man.
Do you want that other chance to be in show business?
Yes.
Is that what you want again?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I need that. I need to act. Just having this time off and working at dry cleaners and stuff like that, I could never exist the rest of my life like that. I could never do it. I'm not expecting Hollywood to say, hey, babe, here's some nice scripts, let's go do this, here's a movie in Paris. You know, I'm not expecting that. All I want is just a chance to prove myself, a chance to prove that I'm good, and a chance just to prove it. That's all, because once they give me that chance and they see that it's in there, I think that they'll let me back in.
After our interview, we had something in store for Dana, a friend from her past.
Somebody in your life.
Oh, my...
Willis and Kimberly together again. A bittersweet reunion as two of America's favorite sweethearts swap jailhouse stories. That's next.